So for those of you that are going to watch this, you need a strap today, okay? So good morning, happy Tuesday. Find a nice seat. Oh, let's see, Carrie says, okay. That's what I was expecting. All right, find a nice seat. I know that all of you that are on right now have seen this before, but I love this book, and I think it's always good to revisit. It's called If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules. So it's always good for me to revisit what it says. And so I know you guys have heard this story, but maybe other people haven't. My mom gave me this little book. It's by Sherry Carter Scott, PhD. She gave it to me in 1998. And of course, she passed in 2000. And when she gave it to me, I put it on a shelf somewhere. I never read it. And then I found it about 10 years ago, and I was shocked at how awesome of a message it has and how meaningful for me these lessons were. So it says, let me just give you an introduction. Sorry. Life has often been compared to a game. We are never told the rules, unfortunately, not given any instructions about how to play. We simply begin at go and make our way around the board, hoping we play it right. We don't exactly know the objective of playing, nor what it means to actually win. That is what 10 Rules for Being Human is all about. These are the guidelines to playing the game we call life, but they are also much more than that. These rules will provide you with a basic spiritual primer for what it means to be human. They are universal truths that everyone inherently knows, but has forgotten somewhere along the way. They form the foundation of how we can live a fulfilling, meaningful life. And so each rule, we'll just kind of go over one rule a week. And the first one is, you will receive a body. The moment you arrived here on earth, you were given a body in which to house your spiritual essence. The real you is stored inside this body. All the hopes, dreams, fears, thoughts, expectations, and beliefs that make you the unique human that you are. So you will travel through your entire lifetime together. You and your body will always remain two separate and distinct entities. The purpose of this body is act as the buffer between you and the outside world and to transport you through this game we call life. It also acts as a teacher of some of the initial and fundamental lessons about being human. If you are open to all the lessons and gifts your body has to offer you, it can impart to you valuable bits of wisdom and grace that will guide you along your path of spiritual evolution. It can provide you with the basic knowledge and understanding you will need to be grounded within it before you can progress onward on your journey. The body you are given will be yours for the duration of your lifetime here. Love it or hate it, accept it or reject it, it's the only body you will receive in this lifetime. It will be with you from the moment you draw your first breath to the last beat of your heart. Since there is a no refund, no exchange policy on this body of yours, it is essential that you learn to transform your body from a mere vessel into a beloved partner and lifelong ally. as the relationship between you and your body is the most fundamental and important relationship of your lifetime. It is the blueprint from which all your other relationships will be built. Sometimes we forget that. So the challenge of Rule 1 is to make peace with your body so that it can effectively serve its purpose and share its valuable lessons of acceptance, self-esteem, respect, and pleasure. Everyone must learn these basic principles before he is able to journey successfully through life. So think about that. I know as I've gotten older that sometimes, certain body parts become more at the forefront of my sensations. Let me put it that way. But there's much to be learned from these different body parts. If you can look at it that way, there's little things to help you learn more. So close your eyes and just feel your body. Feel yourself within your body. If you notice any sensations that are apparent this morning, feel your breath moving in and out of your body. And as we all know, our body changes over time. May we honor our body just as it is right now. Please bring hands to heart center. May we all learn to accept our bodies just as they are. Doesn't mean we have to not try to improve them or work on them. But we do accept what they have to offer us and what they teach us. We all realize that they are a great blessing. Allows us to live our life Please lower your hands, open your eyes. We're going to start on our backs. So go ahead and grab your belt and come on down to your back. And just hug your right knee in. And then you might have to let the knee come away from you a little bit and extend your left leg straight. And then just give a little pressure down on your right knee. Work the femur down into the hip socket by putting pressure on your knee, and then maybe make a little circle. And make it even a little bigger. And then grab your belt and just bring it over your foot and bring it right in the middle of your arch. So you can straighten the leg and feel like you can pull down, and that just kind of weights into that hip socket some more. You can keep a little baby bend in your knee if that's better for you. It's a big stretch. Keep your left leg grounded. Grab the belt with your right hand. Bring your left arm out to the side. And just allow that foot to come off to the right. Don't allow the left hip to come up. Just a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. I like to kind of move it around a little bit, just feeling all the different ligaments and muscles. A little stretch there. And bring it back up and switch hands, and a little bit of a stretch. Feel your right hip still stay grounded. You're just doing a little bit of that achy stretch. The other side. And then release the belt. Bend your right knee, foot flat. Hug your left knee in for a moment. And then as you allow that knee to come awake to keep the curve in the low back, extend the right leg. Put some pressure down into the socket, knee all the way down. You can make some little circles. We're not going to worry so much about alignment today. We're just going to try to get the hips open. I might give you some alignment tips, but mostly you're just going to notice how it feels in your own body. Good, and then loop that around your arch. You can even bring it closer to your heel if you want. Just feel a little pressure down into the socket. Keep a long spine. I like to draw my low belly up just to keep that long spine. Grab a hold with your left hand and just kind of moving around, just kind of bring it off to the side. Keep the right hip grounded. If it's coming up, you've gone too far, just gonna feel like it's a nice stretch. If you keep a little baby bend in your knee, I think it's better for your knee, Jade. Good. And then bring it up and switch hands. And just a little achiness there. Just a little movement. But keep the long spine. Keep the left hip grounded. And then release that. Hug. You can set the belt off to the side now. We won't be needing it again. Hug your knees in. And just kind of roll side to side, letting your knees kind of move side to side. You'll feel it in your hips a little bit. And then bring them away from you a little bit. Same thing. And then bring the feet flat, wide on the mat, and just do a few windshield wipers. Just kind of warming up those hips. Should feel pretty good at this point. Just warmed them up. I like to really work my feet too. Good. And then go ahead and roll to your right side and come on up to all fours. And go ahead and extend your right leg straight back. And I feel a stretch in your calf, but mostly feel up at the hip area. Can you activate the hamstrings and feel a stretch there as well? And then pick up that leg, bring it off to the left side. Think long spine and twist and look at the foot. Feel that. Feel it in both hips, actually, I do. Outside of both hips, good. And then pick it up again, bring it off to the right side. Feeling the inner thigh stretch. All right, Artie, can you help me, huh? Just like we've been doing, maybe move forward and back, maybe even in a little bit of a circle. Good, and then bring that foot forward between your hands. Press the foot down. Keep your right hand or your left hand grounded, bring your right hand to your knee and just open up a little bit. To keep a nice long spine, but see if you can feel it in your hips. Opening. Hip flexor, good. Touch down. Maybe walk your knee back a little further to feel a little bit more stretch in your hip flexor. And then bring that knee back, all fours. And we'll switch sides. So left foot extends. Stretch through the calf. Nice long spine. Pick it up, bring it off to the right side. Keep your hips square. Keep a long spine, twist and look. Feel it in both hips. I do. Good, and then pick it up and bring it off to the side. And just move forward and back, maybe side to side a little bit. Keeping kneecap and toes pointing in the same direction though. Especially for you, Jade, be very mindful. And then help that foot come forward to the Anjane position. Hug knee to heel, heel to knee. Hand to the thigh and twist. Hugging. Come on back down. Move the knee back a little bit more stretch in that hip flexor. Hug the knee forward, heel back. Feel that. You can bend the knee a little more. Good. And then come back to all fours. And come down to your forearms now. So last week we did cat-cow on blocks. This week we're going to do cow-cat. I should say cat-cow, but cow-cat on our forearms. So start in cow. Just feel. I want you to feel it in your hips and then extend your spine. You're going to feel it more in your pelvis area now, I think. We felt it in our shoulders more last time. So just go really slow. See what you notice. We'll see what comes out for you. Once you're evened out, pause. Bring your knees back just a little bit. Curl your toes. Press down. Lift up to dolphin pose. Press your hands down. Press your forearms down. You can keep the knees bent if you need to. Good. And then lower the knees. Now extend your right leg and then your left. Come to forearm plank. Press down through the forearm and broaden the clavicles. Keep a long back of neck. Warm up your core a little bit. This doesn't work for your shoulders, Laura. I think it's better than on your hands, but you decide. Try and go 3 more breaths. And then lower your knees. And now come up on your all fours again. And I have you bring the hands forward just slightly. We're going to do thread the needle. So thread the right arm under. Instead of feeling it in your shoulders today, I want you to just feel this in your hips. Just kind of notice. Sometimes twists are hip openers as well. And then go ahead and switch. Thread the left arm through. Nice deep breath. You don't have to twist so much. I just want you to mostly feel it in your hips. Long side body, both sides. Draw the sternum back. And come on back up. Go ahead and take a child's pose for a moment. Let your hands relax. You can bring them under your forehead if that works. Feel the hips there. And then please make your way on up to a downward dog. Extend the right leg, bend the knee, keep a baby bend in your left knee, and then just rotate that hip in a big circle. It's like you're making your knee move in a big circle. Good, you can even wrap it around. Just feel that hip in lots of different positions. Good, bring the right foot down and go with the left one. And start in circles, reverse, whatever feels good. I just want you to stay strong in your core, your shoulders. Open it up. You can wrap it, whatever works. Good, bring the left foot down. Then the right leg straight back this time. And then come forward, bring knee to nose round. And then go ahead and set the right knee down. Make sure it's under your right hip. And then swing the left foot around to monkey lunge again. Open up, little twist. And then bring the hand to the inside, walk the foot to the left. A little bit of a humble pose. I always kind of think if I turn the toes out and then broaden the knee, that's going to give me a little more stretch. Come on back up. Come back. And make your way to downward facing dog. I'm not going to use the blocks as much today. You feel free to use them if you need to. Extend the left leg. Come forward, and as you do, bring knee to nose. Hold it for one breath, and then set that knee down. Make sure it's under your hip, and then swing the right foot around. Monkey lunge. Hand to the knee, or swing it all the way open, little twist. And bring the hand to the inside. Walk the right foot out to the side. Take your time. You don't have to come to your elbows. You can use blocks if you want to. I can hear her purring probably. She's loving this. One more breath. And make your way back downward facing dog. Please step your feet up to your hands and come to a forward fold. Uttanasana. And take your time and keep a little baby bend. You can hold your elbows and just kind of swing side to side, and you can feel it in your upper hip, maybe your low back. And go ahead and bend your knees, bring your hands on your knees, press into your feet and come all the way up to Tadasana. Good, I'm going to have you step your feet a little wider. And this is going to be kind of weird. We're just going to do the hula hoop movement. So just ground through your feet, keep a little baby bend in your knees, and then just make a big circle with your hips. Don't look at me because I'm not graceful when I'm doing this. Good, switch directions. Good, now bring your pause, bring your feet closer, and same thing. Feels a little different. You can try and be sexy if you want to with your movement. Switch directions. Just getting all the hips warmed up. Good, and then pause. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Sit back, Utkatasana. And come on back up. Okay, I want to try baby cradle here, standing, just to open the hips a little more. So if you want to use your blocks here, you can. I'll show you how I do that. I'm just gonna bring them here. Stand on your right foot, bend both knees, bring your left ankle across. And then sit deep like Utkatasana. Your blocks are there if you need them, or you can just see if you can balance, feel that hip. Keep your foot really flexed, especially you, Jade. You can either bring hands to heart center, or if you're really feeling open, you can wrap. Good, and then stand up. Switch sides. Stand on the left foot and the knee. Bring the right ankle across. Your blocks are there. Your hands to heart center. Or you can wrap. Keep a really active foot. Keep a really active long spine. Grab your blocks if you're falling over like I am. Good, and then stand up. And come to the front of your mat. You're gonna have to move, Artie. Watch out, baby. Okay. Standing on your right foot. Bring your left leg up. And just see about balancing. Bring your arms out to the side. Good, bring that foot down. Switch. And bring it down. Okay. Stand on your right foot. Bring your left heel up. And then slide it up to tree pose. You guys all know tree pose. And you can do it. You can keep toes on the floor. You can bring it below the knee or above the knee. You decide. And you're going, okay, Lise, that's enough. And bring it down. Switch sides. Heel up. Take your time. I want you to feel your hip. And release. Okay, now we're just going to flow through a few things. And it's going to be challenging, but I think you're going to like it. So standing on your right foot, bring your left knee up just like you did. Good. Now, bend your right knee a little bit. Bring your left foot back behind you. Bring your hands to your right thigh and slowly step back to crescent warrior. Take your time. You might have to like sit down and then slowly back. But you'll know. And then put a little baby bend in your knee, your left knee. Think hips stay square. Really strong long spine. Maybe re-straighten, maybe extend the arms. You don't have to extend the arms. Right hip crease stays back. Good. Now ground that left foot down and come to warrior two position. And just check my knee, your foundation, sit straight. Good. Now bring your left elbow on top of your right, and you can either hold your shoulders, which I recommend for this first one, and then just kind of make a big circle. And do that again. Big circle. And do it again. 3 times. Good. And then pause. And your arms again, warrior two. Just notice. Straighten the front leg. Turn the right foot in. Put a little baby bend in your knees. Slowly make your way to Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide-legged forward fold. Really active feet. Active arches, both sides. Artie's licking my block. Come up like a pranam. And then walk your hands towards your left foot as you turn it out. Turn the right heel up. Lower the knee. Stretch up to Anjane Asana. Touch down. Lift the back knee. Step forward, Uttanasana. You don't need to watch me, but if you do, you can come to the other side of the mat. But I think you all don't need that. Bend your knees, hands on your knees. Come on up, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. So inhale, sweep the arms up, and lift the right knee this time. Hands to heart center as you move the knee back. Bring the hands to your left thigh. You can pause in warrior three if you want, and then slowly touch down. Come to crescent warrior. Bend your knee if you need to really engage. Ground the back foot down. Make your way to warrior two. Take your time to see if you're set up correctly. And then bring the right elbow on top of the left. You can do the arms, hold your shoulders. And then 3 times, just kind of move. Feels kind of like reverse warrior as you move through. 2, 3. And then extend the arms, warrior two. I always have to bend my back knee to really feel like I'm engaged long through the spine. Good. Straighten the front leg. Turn the left foot forward and fold forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. I always sway forward and back on my feet to see if I'm really using arches, both inner and outer arch. Getting the weight right in the middle. Good. Come up like a pranam. And then walk your hands towards your right foot as you turn to that deep lunge position. Lower the back knee. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. For 2 more breaths. And please touch down. Lift the back knee, step forward. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch up. Stand on the right foot, lift the left knee again. As you bring hands to heart center, start moving the foot back. You can pause in Warrior 3 if you'd like. Hands to the front thigh. Slowly step back, crescent. Ground the back foot down, Warrior 2. Left elbow comes over right. If you want to, backs of hands together or regular Garudasana. Make one big circle. Warrior 2. Straighten the front leg. Take a triangle pose. You can use block here if you need to. Send to the feet, come back up. Turn the right foot forward. Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide-legged forward fold. Swivel your heels in a little bit. And be really mindful here that the kneecap and the toes point the same direction, and then just kind of bend one side and the other. If you need blocks here, please use them. It's your own movement, so if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Just want you to be really mindful with yourself today. Kind of the movement is self-driven for however you can get the hips open. And when you feel evened out, straighten out the feet. Come into that pranam position. And walk your hands to the left foot. Turn the right heel up. Lower the back knee. And this time, right hand stays down, left arm sweeps up, a little twist. And please touch down. Inhale, sweep up. Anjane. And touch down. Inhale, lift the back knee and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last side, inhale, lift the arms, lift the right knee. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bend a little bit in your left knee. Come to Warrior 3. Hands to your thigh. Bend the knee, step back. Crescent Warrior. On your next exhale, ground the back foot down, warrior two. And right elbow comes on top of left. One big circle. Back to warrior two. Next, inhale, straighten the front leg. Triangle pose. Triangle is a pretty deep hip opener in and of itself, isn't it? Really strong through the feet. Come back to and up. Turn the foot forward. Bend the knees. Slide into Prasarita Svanasana. Swivel the heels in if you'd like. Bend one knee and the other. Working on those hips. Working on different muscle groups, fibers. Be very mindful with your knees. If you want to, you can do it without hands. Good, and then when you're evened out, pause, straighten out the feet. Hold one more time. Inhale, pranam. Walk the hands towards the right foot, turn the back heel up. Lower the back knee. Inhale, right arm up to twist. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, both arms up. Anjane Asana. On the exhale, lower down. And this time, step back to a downward facing dog. We're going to go to pigeon prep pose. So if this isn't good for your knees or your hips, please do it on your back. But extend, actually lower your knees and do it this way. Just bring your left knee up and wide, maybe even wider than your wrist. And then try and bring your shin more parallel. Keep the hip parallel to the front. Hug the knees towards each other. So I don't ever just dump into this. It's not good for me to do that. And then see, maybe you can come down onto your elbows. You'll know. Check to make sure your right foot stretching straight back. You're not dumping into that left hip. You're keep being mindful, but stretching the fibers there. My foot is super active because that's better for my knee. Now this is optional. I'm going to swivel my right forearm in, bring my left hand to my left knee, think long spine, and twist. You'll feel it more in both hips, especially your left one. Keep drawing your low belly up. Good, and then unwind, come back to your hands, and slide that knee back, and we'll switch sides. Right knee forward, adjust your, where you want your shin to be. The more parallel it is to the front of the mat, the more stretch you'll get, but I like to keep it back towards my pelvis a little bit because it's better for my knee. I can keep my foot flexed, keep your hips square, keep a nice long spine, possibly come down to your elbows. Think inner right thigh back and wide, but low belly up, spine long. Left foot straight back. I always have to look and see Sometimes I get a little wild and I bring it out to the side. You can even stretch the toes long if you would like. Left or right inner thigh back and wide. If you want that extra stretch, swivel your left forearm in, right hand to the right knee, and twist. One more breath. And unwind, come back up on your hands, and please step back, down dog. And everyone, even if you're on your back, come to down dog. Take a moment there, really feeling your power dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Downward facing dog. And do that one more time. Next, inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. And then just push back to all fours. Stretch your feet long. And walk your hands back. Sit on your heels for a moment. See how everything's feeling. I'm gonna, since Artie's on my blanket, I'm gonna grab a block. If some of you just have a block and a blanket handy for this next pose. It's called Bharadvajrasana. No, Bharadvajrasana. So come forward enough that you can swivel your feet to the right side. And then you're just gonna set your right foot on top of your left. And then sit back and see, if it feels like you're leaning to the side, you're gonna need a little bit of a lift because I want both sits bones to be grounded. So can you see how I just have my top foot in the arch of my other foot, and my knees have to come wider. I'm going to use a block. A blanket would be better for me today, but since Artie's on my blanket, I'm going to sit on a block so that I can feel both sits bones grounded down. So this is a twist that is a little bit harder, I think, than most twists. So feel that for a moment. Feel a nice long spine, sits bones back, low belly up, lengthening all the way through the top of the head. Now bring your left hand to the block or the ground. Bring your right hand across. And do a little twist. Better for me to be a little higher on a blanket or a block, but maybe you don't need that. I don't know. And just breathe. Feel yourself, your core, doing the twist. But you should feel it in your hips too. And then unwind. Come forward enough that you can, I'm gonna have to move my block, that you can just swivel your feet to the other side. The outside foot is on top. And then sit back. Now this side's easier for me for some reason. but I still feel like I'm leaning a little bit. So I'm going to sit on my block, get both sits bones grounded. A blanket really would be nice, Artie. Sit up nice and tall. Feel your spine engaged. Left hand to your knee, right hand behind you, and twist. One more breath. And come on back to center. And come on down to a seated position. And bend your knees, bring your feet a little bit wide. And reach across and grab your right ankle. And just bring the shin parallel, but your heel level with your hip. Yes, this is our favorite pose. I don't even have a blanket. You can sit on a blanket or a block. It's a little bit cushier if you have a blanket. And then you're going to bring the opposite ankle across. And just know you can do it on the floor. You can bring it to your shin, or if you're feeling really flexy, you can bring your ankle across your thigh. So your shins are pretty parallel to the front of the mat. And then you just sit for a moment and take that in. You can support yourself if that's what you need. You feel both sits bones grounded. Nice long spine. This is always a super challenging pose for me. I like to pull up on the top shin. And then it reminds me to keep a nice long spine and keep that curve in my low back, but I can work on opening a little more. Couple breaths. This pose is called Agni Stambhasana, or fire log pose. And then just for you, slide that foot back so it's in the hip crease. If you have your ankle on top, for half lotus pose. That feels like a piece of cake compared to Agni for me. Good, and then unwind and we'll switch sides. So grab your left ankle, bring it across, parallel with your hip. And then you decide, you can if your hips are super tight, just bring it across like Sukhasana, or you can bring it on top and just hold the ankle in place, or if you're feeling really flexy, bring it across. This side's always a little bit easier for me, but I'm still gonna kind of pull up on my shin with my hands underneath to lengthen my spine. And then I can work on broadening the knee. Draw your low belly up, bones back. Oh man, feels like I'm gonna break in half today. Just take a moment there. Pretend like you're sitting at the campfire roasting marshmallows. I always say that in this pose because it means fire log pose. See if you're on both sits bones. Take 3 more breaths. This is the ultimate deep hip opener pose, right? And then if you want to do the half lotus, slide the foot back into the crease. Slide the heel back. And just feel that. Wow, piece of cake after what we just did. And then please unwind, and guess what? Transition to your back. Just take a moment there. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open wide for Supta Baddha Konasana, and just see how your hips feel in this position. I like to bring my hands on my outer hips. I try to keep the curve in my low back, keep a long spine. Just relax into the floor for a moment. And bringing the knees up, bring the feet wide on the mat. And then one knee at a time, bring your arms to cactus. So bring just the left knee towards your right ankle. I like to keep my foot super flexed. I don't know if you can see that my left foot is really active. My hips stay square. I'm not lifting one or the other. And then switch. So left knee up, right knee comes down. And do that one more time each side. And then the right knee. And then bringing the right knee up, stretch out for Shavasana. So just think about your body. Maybe there's parts that aren't quite what they used to be. But it's carried you through this far in your lifetime pretty successfully. You can accept it just the way that it is today. Just work from head to toe, noticing all the different body parts and appreciating them just the way they are today. And those parts that maybe we haven't accepted historically, or we don't like the way they're wearing out today, maybe you can see that they've actually taught you a lot. The body is such a good teacher. I know I've learned so much from my physical body. So just really take your time doing a body scan and appreciating each part. And allowing it to relax deeply. As you continue to relax, I just wanted to share a few more words from lesson number 1. If you are one of the rare and fortunate people who already experience your body as perfect exactly as it is, with all its foibles and strengths, then you have already embraced the lesson of acceptance and can fast forward to the next lesson. However, if any small part of you believes that you would be happier if you were thinner, taller, larger, firmer, blonder, stronger, younger, or some other physical alteration you think would magically transform your life for the better, then you might want to spend some time learning about the value of true acceptance. Acceptance is the act of embracing what life presents to you with a good attitude. Our bodies are among the most willing and wise teachers of these lessons. Unless you spend a large percentage of your time engaged in out-of-body experiences, your body shows up wherever you are. It can be like the ever-present benevolent guide or a lifelong cross you bear. The decision is yours based on how well you learn this lesson. So acceptance or rejection of your body. Hang on. Acceptance or rejection of your body only carries weight in your mind. Your perception has no bearing on how your body actually looks. So why not choose the case of the ease of acceptance rather than the pain of rejection? The choice is yours. What are you not accepting about your body? Begin to notice the breath moving in and out. Start to move in small ways. When you're ready, draw your knees in. Pull to your right side. Rest there for a moment. And please push on up to seated. Find your nice regal seat. Sitting with your body and your spirit. You're a team. Please bring hands to heart center. To me, you're each perfect, just the way you are. And I bow to the light within each of you. Namaste. Thanks so much for practicing this morning. Hope you have a fantastic day. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Lisa.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Bye.
Thanks for that good lesson, Lisa.
You bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I needed that. See ya.
Good. Okay.
Bye,
Bye now.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.